Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hidden Brick, where today we're doing part 2 of the Lego Technic wheel front loader set. This is a huge model, came out in 2014. This is where we're at so far. If you haven't seen part 1, check it out. It's where we unbox the whole thing and we look at some of the power function motors and we begin the build of it. So we're just going to keep on going where we left off. That way we don't lose much time. So push this to the side. We have basically a new module that we're going to build. We'll start with this framed element. So having the parts all sorted is a time saver. Definitely make sure you do that. That's one of the things I did before we started building this set. Is once I unboxed it, I sorted all the parts. So now we can easily go through this, not worry about searching for something. Another differential to build. So we start with this. Put the small little beveled gear right in the middle. There's a little pin that it can sit on. And then you drop in the 2 other beveled gears on each side. So that creates the differential. And then we have 2 of these 6 long. Make sure that you put this in the right way, or else your wheels will not turn when you finish the model. And believe me, I know from experience. I've done it before. It was on accident, but it really messed things up. So if you were with me on the first video, you can kind of see this is similar to the differential that we built in the first video. It's not quite exactly the same because it's the front side of it, but it's pretty close. So we've got these lined up. There we go. 2 of the 13 longs. This attaches right there. See, it's created this little hinge element there. Wonder if that's part of the front loading piece. So we have the wheel hubs for the front here. Let's get all of the elements for that. Giant wheel hub assemblies. That. Some smaller gears. These two. All right. The big one in. Okay, so we've got those both in. Bring this element over. We have to put one of these little gears in here and slide it all the way in and attach it to that. Okay, got those in. These are the 15 long beams. Turn the model over. Okay. I wonder why they put these on there. I think it's maybe to hold that differential in place in case it wants to bind. Not quite sure. I've never seen that technique used before. All right. Turning the model back over. So we're doing a ton of elements to really lock these axles in place. And then considering it's going to be motorized, there's going to be a lot of torque and stuff that's going to be moving. So it needs to be locked in nice and tight. Two of those. 6. 2. Three, 4. We're really locking everything in. This thing is not going anywhere. Another 15 long. 2 of these. 2 of these. Six of those, 1, 5, 1, 7, So 5, it's this lift arm. There's 5 holes in it. This one has 7 holes in it. And that's how they call them out in the instructions too. They put a number next to it. So you just have to count the holes and you'll make sure you get the right piece. We've got a lot of pins. So 7 long goes right here. 5 goes right there. So we'll bring over the other module that we created in the first video, and we more or less just attach them. So there's a gray axle right here, and then there's a yellow axle connector right there in the middle. And we just join those two together. And now both modules are connected. Now they can still pull apart, so we more or less have to put stuff together to hold them. So the first thing is pushing these blue 3 long pins in. That will have to kind of wiggle it a little bit to make sure they're aligned. There it goes. We've got those 3 in. And the next part is 2 of these with a non-friction pin. Two more now. This is hard, kind of lining all these pins and axles up. Once you get it, it's not moving anywhere. So you can see we've created a good little joint there. It's not going to move. Alright, so let's see what's next. We're going to do a few more steps before we end this video. So we're basically building a little sub-module piece. Seven long with a red bushing. And there's a diagram in the instructions that show where that bushing is supposed to be. So that's why I had it off camera for a second. I was just lining it up. Frame element with 6. 2 of those frame elements. Okay, so we put those in with the studs facing each other. So these blue little pins created blue studs on the inside. So those face each other. Then we put on a couple of these to hold everything together. If I can get it on there. There it goes. This is a squirrely little element that we're building. That looks good. I feel like I've pushed some of these on too tight. All right. Next is another one. Axles lined up. It's a little tricky. There's too many axles trying to line up, and these little half lift arms are easier if you have a table to set them on, and I can't do that with this. Alright, so you can see what we've kind of created here is this little steering joint, I guess. Alright, next up is a couple of non-friction pins. Couple of the pins with toe ball on the end. Two 7 long beams. These connect to the non-friction. So turn this over. Make sure everything looks good per the instructions. Looks good. Slide this down right there. Doesn't connect to anything yet. Now that will hold it together. To these. All right, so that was fun. A little bit confusing at some points, but still fun. So this is going to end it for this portion of the video. Make sure to check out part 3 where we continue this build. Still got a long way to go, but we're going to break this into smaller episodes so you guys can watch it at your pace. So thanks again for sticking around on this. This is a fun little build. I'm glad you guys are here to watch it. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.